Looking at the back of the aircraft, you can see we've now got some beautiful contrails coming out of there. Yes, that's right folks, today we are talking about Sim Update 3 for Microsoft Flight Simulator. Today I'll be running down all of the features, my opinion, and the pros and cons of it in my view. It's been a fantastic update, so let's get into it. Hello YouTube, I'm Pilot Stud and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I do flight sim videos like this all the time, keeping you up to date with the latest Microsoft Flight Simulator news and of course updates. Yes, that's right folks, today at 1600 UTC, the Microsoft Flight Simulator team dropped Sim Update 3. Now, if you don't know, Sim Updates improve overall worldwide aspects of the sim, focusing their attention on aircraft and the environment. We've already got the highlight of this update, in my opinion, coming out of the back of the aircraft right now, of course, contrails. But that's not all, so let's run through all of those features. Now, first of all, a lovely touch is that we've got Flight Simulator X Legacy liveries on numerous aircraft. Right now, of course, we're in the 787, and you get 6 free liveries, those being Kenmore, Emerald Gold, Global Freightways, Orbit, Pacifica, and World Travel. I personally think this is a really nice touch. I mean, it's just really nice to be able to fly in old Flight Simulator X liveries for that little bit of nostalgia. Most, if not all, of the default aircraft have these liveries, although I haven't checked through every single one of them, so don't hold me to it. But from the aircraft I've tested so far, I can confirm we've got new liveries. Now, as I said, the highlight of Sim Update 3 was, of course, contrails. They've been added to all aircraft, of course, above a certain altitude for contrails to appear. And by all aircraft, of course, I mean jet-engined aircraft. Although, if you're flying a Cessna 152 at this height, you've probably got to start worrying. It's really nice, it's a lovely little touch. Of course, it's a fundamental part for getting that realistic look because of course aircraft have contrails in real life, so you'd expect nothing less with a flight simulator. I have to say, it really does add something. They're also very well modelled as well, responding well to the curves. Now, one thing I should say is that they do not work with multiplayer or AI aircraft yet, although I'm sure that will be fixed down the line. Now, we've also got a brand new menu in the world map menu. Here we've got customization. Now, this replaces the ATC model, and it adds a really nice section under the name of flight model. Now, you can change the wear and tear of your aircraft, and this will make your aircraft respond differently. Now, wear and tear adds drag, basically, parasite drag. I guess this means because the aircraft is old, the model isn't as smooth as it should be, and therefore you do get bits sticking out and bits being not so smooth, which overall increase drag. This can go up to 10%. You can also change the elevator, rudder and aileron authority, and you can adjust this to match real world aircraft to get a more realistic flight experience. They don't stay the same, so you don't need to keep turning them on and off, they just apply to the next flight. In addition, going over to centre of gravity, you can also move this slider to customise it yourself without having to worry about fuel. So if you're on unlimited fuel, this is really going to help you out because it means you can fly forever while having a low centre of gravity. A nice feature, more technical than I'm sure many people will care about, but those who do, you've got it now. On top of that, stability issues have been resolved, and I have to say I did actually experience some faster loading times. Not too sure whether that's just because I've uninstalled most add-ons out of my community file for this update, or they've optimised it a bit more, but there you go. As always, the latest air rack cycle has now been integrated and is now available. On top of all of these major fixes, we've also got plenty of fixes in the airliners, general aviation aircraft, and business jets. These include upgrades to the 787 heads-up display, a lot, and I mean a lot of engine optimizations across the board, numerous fixes in aircraft checklists, especially targeting mixture in the smaller aircraft like the Cessna 152 we're flying now, and numerous cockpit interaction fixes. There is way too many for me to talk about in one video, and if I'm being honest, That would be a long video because a lot of them are incredibly minor bug fixes. But overall they do add up to make a much better sim. Hopefully all the aircraft feel a bit more realistic for you all now, guys. Especially in regards to the citation speed being fixed. And some issues with auto start in the 747-8 being fixed. Overall a big update for minor updates, which in turn creates a much better flight sim experience. Now I've been testing out Microsoft Flight Sim with my new honeycomb yoke, and while I haven't seen a massive improvement with performance, there's certainly less lag and appears to be way less stutters. Not too sure what they've done here, but they seem to have performed some sort of miracle on my system anyway. On top of this, that really annoying lighting bug where there was those light edges around either the aircraft or other objects has been fixed. This for me was a really nice update to see because it did ruin the realism and beauty of the sim in some places. For all you virtual reality fans, you will find a massive selection of improvements, including high dynamic range now being enabled for VR. That is a big change in my opinion, and having tried out Microsoft Flight Simulator in VR, while it was a bit underwhelming for me, it's certainly a lot of fun. Cockpits and actual controls in VR should handle a lot better now. And players can now access the controls menu directly from the VR mode page, meaning you don't have to leave to reassign controls. There's also been some minor updates with air traffic control, fixing some ATC communications to increase the realism. On top of this, if we head over to the weather panel, we've now got a brand new wind layer menu. This allows for greater accuracy in setting up windy conditions. A minor change, but certainly a welcome one. And for all you scenery and aircraft developers, you'll find numerous updates to developer mode, including to help you out some revamped documentation on their website. Overall, it's been a pretty good update, I have to admit. The game has not broken for me, I'm getting way less stutters, we've got contrails, and they've also gotten rid of some really annoying bugs. For me, it's been a very positive update, and coming in at 9.2 gigabytes, I'd hope it was, for that space Microsoft Flight Simulator is slowly eating away with. For me, for the first time in a while, there's no cons or negatives with this update, other than the A320NX having to be put into developer mode, but this never seems to really affect me anyway. So no cons, but loads of positives. What a fantastic update. I hope you've really enjoyed another Microsoft Flight Simulator update video, bringing you and showcasing you all the main features of this update. If you're new around here, be sure to subscribe and of course like and comment. I'd like to say a massive thank you to my business class and first class members. My first class members get a shout out, so here you go. Thank you to Captain Matt Russell, Penguin Who Plays TV, Simon Schmidt 320, BK Cockpits Limited and Whiskey 2 Shots. I'm off to do some flying with my new yoke, guys. It's a lot of fun. A review will follow up on that shortly. But from me today, that is all. Bye bye.